All right, guys. So as you know, I have a couple of projects coming out. One of them is becoming Baki, which is a personal program that I'm going through, and some people can join me on that challenge and that series of challenges. That's more of a long-term project, but I also had my Perfect Punch program coming out. Now, the Perfect Punch program, right? What I want to do is I want to ensure that everyone really understands the fundamentals of punching. Okay, so I want to give you guys just a quick little breakdown of some fundamentals. We have, right, I have my book, so I write all this stuff down. Stance, delivery, and flow. Okay, these are the top three things that I see missing from most people's great punches, right? They're delivering all these punches, they're throwing, and they're doing great, and you know, everyone's practicing on their own. I love it. But I'm missing a stance. And then we're missing the delivery, which, you know, it sounds like technique, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. And then flow, the ability to freestyle, right? So that's a huge component of the Perfect Punch program. So, for example, you know, in the stance training area, right, we have the line drill, the circle drill, and the shuffle drill. All three of those drills will get you familiar with not only your stance, but moving around in your stance. Right? And then we want to work on delivery, right? We have AMRAP, which is as many reps as possible drill, right? Just punch correctly, okay? We have the retaliation drill, which is counter drill. Retaliation just means counter drill. It's the same thing. If you guys see my counter drill, it's the same thing. And then we have the punch and post drill, which some of you have seen, right? And that is an idea for transitioning between hand controls and punching. These core elements are missing from so many combinations, and it would really free you up. It would really free you up and sharpen up your technique, sharpen up your eyes, so you can actually start to use them to attack targets. All right? And then, of course, flow. Doing a basic flow. That one's a little bit hard to explain. It's better if I just show you. But, you know, for now, just keep in mind that throwing combinations, you know, it's easy to switch hands. It's easy to do the same hand, too, but now we have to talk about tempo. It talks about bam, 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 bam. You saw, also I did a little slip on one of the tempos, right? I did bum, bum, I did a right hand bum, and then one of the tempos was a boom, moving to my right. You know, like, that's the idea of learning how to insert things on the tempo, even if it's not a punch, right? So, I mean, these are just some little tidbits of information that you guys can use if you know, if you're a self-learner, if you're an autodidact, which I have a new course coming out about learning, right? What type of learner you are. If you're an autodidact, that means that you're someone that loves to teach themselves. This doesn't mean that you don't have teachers and coaches. It just means that you love teaching yourself in your own way a lot. And that's who I'm really doing this for, because that's how I am, and that's how I learn. Most of my, you know, my drill and instruction like that came from Barry Robinson, actually. You know, I learned from him online. I actually never met him in person. I was going to. We were going to go to Vietnam together, and I was going to box when I was an amateur back in 2013. But some things fell through. The whole program that he had me on fell through. So I was not able to go to Vietnam at that time. But now I'm looking back, and I'm like, you know, I'm a pro now. You know, I've had my career for, you know, how long? I mean, I've been boxing for at least 12 years. But the idea here is that, like, I look back at my past self, and I want to make things that would make my past self, like, ecstatic. You know, I want to make things that really help boxers and martial artists around the world level up. You guys remember, my goal is to be the Bruce Lee of boxing, right? Well, what was Bruce Lee? If you really think about it, let's take a minute here. I just want to yap for a little bit, all right? Bruce Lee was not a world champion at all, right? He competed a few times, yes, but there's a very limited record of him actually fighting. Okay, they have some hearsay and some sparring off the streets and things like that. Okay, they have some street fights. Okay, everybody's undefeated on the streets, right? And then there's one small sparring footage that I was able to find where it was sparring. It was fairly controlled, It wasn't exactly point sparring. It was pretty, flow based and scoring and an interaction. It was a flowing interaction, and he did well. He did well, but we couldn't say that he's a world champion at all. Bruce Lee changed the world of martial arts. He changed how people were training. Jeet Kune Do, his style, right? He said no style, right? I even said it in some of my stuff. Is like, until you find people with 3 arms and 4 legs, we don't have different styles. Bro, we are all fighting. We're all punching with 2 arms. You might punch different. I mean, I don't care how you punch. I don't care how you punch. The idea is that I have timing, I hit you. It's a mental game, right? And if I'm inefficient, then that's my fault and I need to learn better. I learn a more efficient way, right? That's why he said no style, right? No style, guys. It's just learn from everything and create your own. And that's the same thing that I'm doing with Wukong boxing. If you want to call it Wukong boxing like it's a style, it's just a system of understanding physics. I don't want to teach you how to fight like Muhammad Ali. I want to teach you the bouncing that he did, right? And then the leading someone into a trap. I don't want to teach you how to punch like Beterbiev or George Foreman. I want to teach you how to plant your feet and create a connection from the bottom of your foot to the end of your fist to where they both hit at the same time. Boom! Right? Because a lot of people, they go like this. They go turn and then punch. But when you create that synchronized connection, that boom, it's like a lightning bolt. And it has a lot more power with no drawback, guys, I can break a brick with a 1-inch punch. Don't tell me I don't know how to exert power. Like, come on. Like, the proof is there. I do it, and I physically do it on people in fights. So, this idea of systems and styles is just, it's just respecting physics. And I want you guys to remember that as you go through your training and move forward in your martial arts journey. Whoever you decide to take on as a mentor, a teacher, or you learn something from me, you learn something from Mustafa, you learn something from, Barry Robinson, you learn something from, I don't care. I don't care who you call your teacher. I just want someone to become the next Bruce Lee after. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that creativity to light up in someone else's eyes when they see, oh, you can do that. They get one drill that helps them. Oh, they see things differently and they start to create their own new style. There you go, you have a new world champion, right? People are so hung up on records and all this stuff. Like, dude, I don't care about all that. Like, I just like fighting. Bruce Lee, think about it. He was, a martial artist, and he was coming up and he wanted to portray a message. And he's been an actor since he was a child. You know that too, right? So he has acting and he has martial arts. He loves martial arts, but he saw through his teaching and through fighting, it's like, people really don't appreciate this enough. How can I change this world? And then he started making movies. And his goal was to make a big Hollywood movie and a big Hong Kong movie after, right? He died before he could do that. But the movies that he did make shook the world. A lot of it post-mortem. So it's just something to consider and think about as you guys go through your training journey. Just a message as I yap here and talk your ear off. So I won't hold you guys too long. I'll just leave you to it. But be looking forward to becoming Baki if you guys want to join that program. And also my Perfect Punch program. And keep in mind those principles, okay? Stance, all right? Super, super important. Stance, not just stance, but eyes. Being able to see. Okay, that's essential. Ow. Sorry, my eye hurts. Speaking of eyes, right? You have stance, delivery, and flow. Those are our 3 main tenets of developing a perfect punch. I'll do more and I'll start releasing some drills as we go, but if you want to become part of the Perfect Punch program, the actual program, send me a message. Just send me a message saying Perfect Punch. Or if you want to be Baki, that's a personal program. If you want to get on that program, send me a message. Just say Baki. Just say Baki. We're all good. Anyway, see you guys next time. Happy training.